might be the world's tiniest 4x4 RC crawler with FPV on top. This thing is insane. This is everything you get in the box. I'm just going to show you this real quick and we'll go out and do a drive test. I thought this was super cool because I love RC crawlers. I mean, a lot of guys on my channel like RC crawlers, and this one's not just a tiny micro indoor-outdoor RC crawler. It also has FPV goggles that come with it in the box. It also has DVR on there, an internal battery, 8 bands and 40 channels. It has an RC Link cable. It came with this rock from China that's inside a plastic bag with some kind of white powder in there. I'm almost kind of scared to open this. Kind of hilarious that it comes with a rock to crawl right there on your desktop. I'm sure you could just go outside and find one of these pretty easily for free. But yeah, they're just throwing a rock in every single micro car box. I don't know why. They also have these tiny wheels here, some directions for the different buttons on the transmitter. It has LEDs, and probably my favorite part about this, not only is it FPV, but it has a magnetic attachment for the FPV camera, so it can come on and off. If you decide you want to drive this without this big giant camera on top, you can take it off for some more kind of precision type crawling, and it'll change the CG of this truck when you have this up there. So I feel like this is kind of like dual purpose. So indoor kind of FPV, maybe on the wood floors. And then if you want to take this off and do some more precise crawling with it, you have that option, because this is going to have some high CG on it when it sits like that. So we'll do some FPV with it like that, and we'll also do some kind of more precision crawling. It also came with a keychain and extra body, which is great. Stickers, some extra LED spots for your headlights and the rear tail. It also came with these tiny little tires. I almost thought these were like grommets or something, but nope, this is an extra set of tires. It came with 2 instruction manuals, and it has a QR code link to their website. And it came with this kind of ergonomically shaped transmitter. It has kind of a turned wheel there, which is kind of cool. All kinds of buttons on here. Power output by USB-C as well. So if you wanted to charge this from this transmitter, it comes with a little USB connector down here, and you could go from the transmitter and put the car right on the side of this and charge this car from the transmitter without even having to plug in a USB cable to the wall. So you can do it 2 ways. You can charge it from USB cable on something like this, or you can do it right here on the transmitter, which is super, super fun. So without further ado, let's go ahead and drive this SNT little micro crawler, test out the FPV goggles as well. And I'll try to show you some FPV video with these goggles. It looks like a lot of fun. And oh, before we go out and do some driving, I have to show you this micro scale on the bottom here. This is kind of an amazing chassis and suspension system. It has little tiny kind of springs on the front and the back, and I would say that the travel on the front here is almost on par with some of the other crawlers out there. I mean, look how much front wheel suspension travel you have there. That's kind of wild. So yeah, that should be able to do some pretty good crawling there with this. And I also like that you have this like miniature drive shaft here. Look how tiny that is going to the front tires. That's insane. In the back here, you can see it's all metal gears as well, which is really good to see. And everything's clear, so you can really kind of see how this thing is put together. So if you had to work on it, that would probably be tough, but I know people do build these things from scratch as well, but this one you don't have to, and it has a lot of options. It's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and do some driving. Here we go. So, okay, for our first challenge, I wanted to create something that would give it kind of some incline challenge. And so I used my kids' track here for the little electric cars to see if this little guy can make it up. Okay guys, here we go, all the way up to the top. Can we make it? Let's give it a shot. I also noticed that it needs a little bit of weight forward, so it really can't go on a huge vertical. But let's just go ahead and keep crawling up. Keep going, keep going. I would say that's about 20 to 30% grade there. It's doing pretty good. If you get caught on the sides at all, oh, tumble all the way down to the bottom. So I have an idea. We're gonna put some weight forward here. I'm gonna put a little nickel on the very front. Give it some weight forward here. If I hit the sides at all, then I'm gonna flip over and crash probably. But we're gonna go ahead and start again. And you can give it two different power modes. It has a low mode, which doesn't give it a lot of power, and then it has a high power mode, which is helping me get up here. So at this point, trying to keep some, oh man, we're gonna make it. Oh my gosh, hit the side. Oh, just barely made it there. Oh, I almost flew off the side there. We can't stop now. We gotta back up a little bit. We gotta back up and save this just real gently. Come on, baby. Oh, okay. Oh man, this is kind of a tough spot right here. It's a little sideways. Are we gonna make it? I don't know about this. Oh wow. Oh wow, that's awesome. The only reason that I made it that time was because we had a little bit of wall there. Making some turns here. Yes, we're gonna make it through this course. Oh, let's go. Let's go. We made it, guys. Tumble at the very end. That's awesome. So it makes a difference if you have a little bit of weight forward. All right, here we go, guys. All I can see is a big nickel on the front of that truck. So here we go. Oh man, this feels huge. Hopefully I have enough power to make this up. I want to get up some speed right here because this is the most steepest section. Oh, crash, crash, crash. All right, guys, let's give this another shot here. I'm going to get up some speed. And this is a pretty steep incline for this little tiny truck. So we're just going to give it the best shot we can. Oh, man, crash again. All right, guys, here we go again. We're going to try it again. Let's go for it this time. A little more speed. Little more speed, going FPV up the incline. This is the vertical spot. Oh my god, we made it. We made it, guys. That was awesome. I don't know if we're gonna make that part, but hey, I am super happy we made it up this super steep incline. Man, that was freaking cool. That was cool. Let's try some flat ground crawling. Okay, so that was a lot of fun, and that was kind of amazing that I was able to make it up on top of the couch for that vertical crawl through the FPV view. Did it line of sight, but I feel like this is like only the beginning of all the cool stuff that you could do with this little car inside the house. You don't even need to go outside with this crawler. It's a lot of fun. Let's do some cruising around on the floor with this little guy, FPV style. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. I left my little nickel on the front for the extra weight if we decide to crawl over anything. So I really feel like it does need that kind of like extra weight up front to keep the back down. It seems like it is a little bit back heavy. I'm really not sure if this looks like a bad spot to be. This might be a little bit tall. It looks like our battery died, or the FPV view came out. The FPV camera kind of needs to be pushed down quite hard, so maybe that came off momentarily, but we're back now in the live view. I'm gonna get my wheels on an angle here. I don't know really if I can crawl over this, but yeah, it's not going to make it over that. But there goes our FPV view again. I'm kind of cutting in and out there. So that's one thing I saw about this car is that it really needs to be pushed down quite hard on top. It has like 4 connectors and then 2 bigger ones that kind of connect it. So sometimes when you bump into things like that, you're going to lose connection. So that may be the flaw of having it as a magnetic on and off type of attachment. Like you can see the lights are on in there, but if I press it down really hard, it should turn back on, hopefully. It's gonna give it a shot again. Maybe I take it on and off, push it down hard, sort of toward the back. I don't have any lights on there. There we go. I got my FPV back. So now it should be on. I believe I'm back on in the goggles. Yep, back on in the goggles. So yeah, that's one thing. So if you bump the FPV camera while you're driving this around, you may lose your FPV view. Oh, just like that, we lost it again. That's a bummer. That's kind of a bummer. So it's cool that it's magnetic, but also not cool that it disconnects every time you kind of bump into something. So yeah, that's a thing, right? And also, let's see, let's double check it. My goggles feel just a little bit, they feel a little bit blurry, so I'm gonna clean this camera off real good and just double check that. Stick it back on there, kind of push it down hard. See the red lights come up in the back. Now we have FPV boot view back. Okay, let's give it a shot again. Here we go. And I gotta say, like, this is more fun on a level surface, but the crawling part of it was a lot of fun. Now, I think my battery's dying because not only is the FPV feed going out, but it seems like the car stops when the camera turns off. I'm still recording in my goggles. That's all good. I'm wondering if I can make it over there onto the carpet. I feel like if I do, though, that the FPV view is going to go out. So I think the battery's dying. Yeah, the lights are flashing on the bottom of the car, so we may be close to the end of this battery here, and our FPV feed keeps going out, but there it is on the carpet. That's kind of your FPV view on the carpet. It's a little bouncy, but not too bad. You know, man, if I was a kid and I had something like this, this would have been the coolest. So that was a lot of fun. I love the FPV option that you get with it. It's fun that it has a detachable on-off FPV camera that's magnetic. I feel like that is maybe has some flaws with when you bump into things, it turns off and on. When you get low battery, it's definitely gonna start turning on and off on you like it did. But this display case is also kind of cool that it comes with. You can kind of sit that on your shelf. If you're a kid, that'd be super cool to have that in your bedroom with your little rock that they give you as well to practice your crawling on. Chinese rock there. But it's also neat. I did notice that, check this out. This has, it actually has turn signals on here. So if you press left on the transmitter, it's going to give you a left turn signal. If you press right, it gives you a right turn signal. You also have high and low beams, and you can turn them off. So that's super cool. They almost look like they're strobing right there. High beam and then off. I love that. And on the back, I don't know if we have backup lights or brakes, but let's put it in reverse. Yeah, we've got working brake lights in reverse too. That's so cool. So it has some cool options, and a lot of like thought went into this. Internal battery, it's not replaceable, chargeable by USB-C, and I love the little drivetrain in here. But I would say it kind of gets like maybe 1 thumbs up out of 2 for me for this review. I just wish the drive time was longer. My biggest criticism is probably the drive time, but I love the versatility of it. I love that you get a little case with it, even your own little Chinese rock there. An ergonomic style controller that you can control the LEDs with, and this one has 4-wheel drive for crawling. And I also feel like it handled that incline actually surprisingly well, because this incline in here that we did was pretty steep. I mean, 30% grade probably. Yeah, so I feel like for what it is, it did great. So if you're gonna do some vertical climbing with it, add on a little bit of weight to the front and have fun with it. Like, the possibilities are almost unlimited indoors of what you can do with this little guy. And you don't have to register this one with the FAA. You don't need a transponder for the Karens to find you. But if you like these reviews, guys, please do subscribe on the channel, and take care. I will definitely see you on the next one. More RC cars, airplanes, and quadcopter reviews coming up on the channel, guys. I'm Justin Davis, and this has been the little SNT micro RC crawler with FPV camera on top. Pretty fun. Take care.